We know that that breast cancer is one of the most common cancers in women, and a new study is revealing that women who get mammograms are more likely to be diagnosed with a small tumor that is not destined to grow than she is to have a true problem spotted early. It's raising questions as to whether or not mammograms really harm more than they benefit. Joining me now is Dr. Scot Ackerman with Ackerman Cancer Center. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here.
Jen.
This is not the first time that we have heard this. You know, basically researchers raising questions about whether or not mammograms are creating more needless worry among women when they detect something that turns out to not be cancer. Your reaction, first of all, to this research, because a lot of times, I mean, as a woman, I would rather you find something small, even if it turns out to be nothing, my personal opinion, and go ahead and take care of it, than wait until it gets bigger.
Well, yes, mammograms do create angst in a lot of women. Women get mammograms, and a lot of times mammograms lead to what's called diagnostic mammograms, where we look more carefully at the breast and see something funny, and which leads to biopsies. And in fact, when a woman needs a biopsy, only about 20% of the time is it positive for cancer. So the good news is 80% of the time that women have a biopsy, there's no cancer there, but it does create some angst. This study is interesting. It has shown that that over the years, there's been more cancers diagnosed, and the authors postulate that we're diagnosing cancers that are smaller and cancers that may not ever progress into something that's life-threatening.
Okay, so then that said, isn't it a good thing that they do at least find, you know, the cancer so that it can be treated early? Or the point is that if you waited and didn't have a mammogram until later in life and then it was detected, there's not as much risk of it becoming bad? Well,
it's a controversial article. They show that with mammograms, so mammograms really came around in the 80s. Pre-80s, mammograms didn't really exist. We were doing studies then, and the post-80s, in the mammogram era, is where we're at now. And so pre-80s, in the pre-mammogram era, breast cancers were diagnosed in usually more later stages and larger tumors. And post-mammogram era, now they're being diagnosed in earlier stages. Pre-mammograms, 60% of breast cancers were greater than 2 centimeters in size. And post-mammogram, 60% are less than 2 centimeters in size. We know that size of the tumor is related to survival. And what the authors have stated was that there's been an increase in the number of breast cancers, and that the decline in larger tumors is outweighed by the greater increase in smaller tumors. So they're saying that there's a lot of cancers that are being diagnosed that may not have ever become clinically relevant. I don't personally agree with that. That what they don't control for in this study is the fact that breast cancer incidence has been going up over the years, and they're assuming that breast cancer incidence rates are staying flat.
Is there some kind of risk then, because that's what you're hearing here, you know, maybe they don't go through the risk of having a mammogram? Is there something about the way the mammogram procedure occurs that you know, because of the x-ray and whatnot, basically, and the radiation, that somehow exposes a woman needlessly? Is that part of this argument?
Well, that used to be the thought, that the radiation from mammograms over all the years could, in fact, cause breast cancer, but that's been debunked. The amount of radiation that you get from a mammogram is very, very low. Modern digital mammograms give much, much less radiation than a regular chest x-ray. And the lives that are saved by breast cancer being diagnosed early way outweighs any increased incidence or any theoretical increased incidence of new breast cancers.
That said, though, with these kinds of studies that are done, and this is not the first one that's suggesting that mammograms are not necessary, particularly at a certain age, for example, you know, do you think then that insurance companies, in terms of paying and covering these, are going to start paying more close attention to these, and as a result, not cover mammograms for any reason for women?
Well, that's what I fear as an oncologist, that the government or insurance companies won't pay for mammograms and women won't be diagnosed early. We've seen this in prostate cancer. There's been a de-emphasis on prostate cancer screening. And with that, we've seen as a society increased numbers of men with prostate cancer who have been diagnosed with later stage disease that's not treatable. And that my concern with breast cancer is that if we de-emphasize mammography, that women are going to present again with larger tumors that are involving the nodes and have a higher death rate from breast cancer.
So bottom line, have this conversation certainly with your doctor, particularly if you have breast cancer history in, you know, in your family, as an example, and pay close attention to the pros and the cons. I think
Absolutely.
that every woman has a different opinion.
Right.
You know, and
Take
at the end of the
charge
day,
your-
it's their body.
Take charge of your health, know the risks and benefits, and I think it's always better to diagnose something early. It's always better to know something than put your head in the sand and not know.
Dr. Ackerman, thank you for being
Thank
here.
you.
Do appreciate your insight on this. So if you missed any of this interview, by the way, we will post it in its entirety later this morning on news4jax.com, just under the morning show page.